All right, welcome back to the deep dive. So today we're getting into something pretty fascinating from Bangalore.
We are. We're looking at a group that has this almost cute nickname, the Honeysuckers.
Right, it sounds like a bird or something.
It does, but it's actually the local name for a fleet of private vacuum trucks. And, they basically saved a city that was drowning in its own growth.
Okay, so let's set the scene. We're talking about Bangalore around 2011.
Yeah. And you have this image of it as the Silicon Valley of India, all tech parks and modernity.
But the infrastructure reports, they tell a very different story. The city's official sewer network only covered, 40% of the area?
And not even. Which means you have over 5 million people who aren't connected. They're all relying on septic tanks, on pit latrines.
And the city had no service to empty them.
None. For years, the only solution was something called manual scavenging.
Which is a very polite term for a truly horrific practice.
It's tragic. It involved people, usually from the most marginalized castes, literally entering pits to clean them by hand. It was illegal, incredibly dangerous, and just. Deeply inhumane.
So there was this huge, desperate need for a better way. And instead of waiting for the government, a bunch of local entrepreneurs stepped in.
They headed into their garages. They engineered their own solution. These were not, official city vehicles.
What were they then?
Mechanics were taking standard truck chassis, fabricating these 3,000 to 4,000 liter vacuum tanks and just retrofitting them with pumps. They jerry-rigged a sanitation department from scratch.
And it exploded. The numbers show the fleet grew from just a few dozen to over 500 active trucks by 2014.
And the biggest innovation wasn't the hardware, it was the dignity. It mechanized the whole process. It took human hands out of the waste and turned a human rights issue into a logistics business.
A very lucrative one, too. The case studies call it Uber for sludge, but this was years before Uber was a household name.
It was pure supply and demand. Your tank's full, you call a number you saw painted on the side of a truck. And the fees were, between 700 and 1,500 rupees. Yeah. Unregulated.
But there was another layer to the business model, right? Because once you have 4,000 liters of sludge,
A full tank.
you have to do something with it. And with no treatment plants, where does it go?
Well, in the early days, it was an environmental nightmare. Lakes, storm drains, empty lots.
Wow.
But then this strange secondary market started to form. Farmers on the outskirts of the city, they started asking for it. They called it humanure.
Hold on. You mean raw, untreated human waste right onto farm fields? That sounds like a major health hazard.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
You're dealing with all kinds of pathogens. It's dangerous. But you have to look at the economics of it.
Chemical fertilizers are expensive.
Exactly. And this sludge was nutrient-rich, and even better, it was free. The truck drivers would often dump it for free or even pay the farmer a small tip.
So the operator gets paid by the homeowner to collect it and then saves money or even makes a little extra to get rid of it.
Precisely. It flipped the whole model. And by 2014, this informal sector was worth over 10 million US dollars, all without a single rupee of government subsidy.
But that can't be sustainable. You can't just have a city's sanitation system running on rogue dumping forever. How did they formalize it?
Well, this is where it gets interesting. Technology, surprisingly, played a big part. The operators themselves started adopting GPS and booking apps.
Really? Why would an informal operator want to be tracked? You'd think they'd want to stay off the grid.
For legitimacy and efficiency. GPS helped them optimize routes, sure, but it also became a way to prove you weren't dumping in a lake. It was a step toward working with the city.
Which eventually happened. The city realized they couldn't build pipes fast enough to catch up.
So they started integrating these private fleets. They set up formal fecal sludge treatment plants, or FSTPs, and directed the honeysuckers to them. The trucks became the official collection arm, and the government provided the safe treatment facility.
That's an incredible evolution, from manual scavenging to DIY trucks to this tech-enabled public-private partnership.
It really challenges that old idea that all major infrastructure has to be top-down and government-led. These entrepreneurs saw a problem, turned a pollutant into a resource, and built an entire economy around it.
It makes you think, doesn't it? If a waste product can spawn a multi-million-dollar economy without any initial help, what other urban problems are actually just missed economic opportunities?
That is the question every city planner should be asking.
Thanks for listening to The Deep Dive. We'll see you next time.
Thank you for listening to Mission Possible, innovating for the world's most marginalized. This podcast is built on the outstanding work of our students, whose curiosity and commitment drive much of the research and storytelling you hear. Each episode is grounded in academic research and shaped through close collaboration with our partners. To learn more about the research and partnerships behind this podcast, feel free to contact us. Thank you for joining.